Good afternoon. So, shall I start?
Just a minute, ma'am.
Yeah.
Actually,
Thank
for
you,
our
Dr.
next
Lily. Thank you.
session
Yeah.
on stress management, we have Dr. S. Usharani ma'am with us. Actually, she is a PhD holder in psychology with specialization in victim psychology from the University of Madras. She is a recipient of DPRT Research Fellowship. She has PG Diploma in Victimology and Victim Assistance from Tokiwa University, Japan. She has worked as a lecturer in prison department, police department, criminology department, Department of Social Defense. She has trained more than a lakh of police personnel and public on crime prevention and stress management through the Tamil Nadu Police Department. She has over 3 decades of experience in training, counseling, research, and teaching. She is a founder trustee of International Foundation for Crime Prevention, Victim Care, and at present she is a member of EASY of the same. She has received an international award for the best academia in victimology from Edinburgh University, Pennsylvania, USA. She has been working as an assistant professor in psychology in WCC College, that is Women's Christian College, for past 9 years. At present, she is guiding 4 candidates for their PhD. She has around 8 publications in reputed journals. She is a master practitioner in neuro-linguistic programming. She is a therapeutic supervisor for cognitive behavior theory. She is a certified she is certified as a supervisor for counseling by the Australian Counseling Association following the Rise Up model. She is in the EC of Indian Academy of Professional Supervisors. Welcome, ma'am, for the session.
Thank you, Dr. Lily Ramesh. Thank you, Mr. Dr. Uh, Dure Murugan, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be with you all. After listening to Mr. Dure Murugan, Dr. Dure Murugan, I really thought whether I will be fitting into your group because you all are learned people with technical knowledge. And I'm going to talk just about stress and how to manage stress and the different ways of coping up with stress. Okay, like the thing is, like everybody talks about stress. Uh, each and every day we face stress. So even from a small child to an old person, we keep talking about stress. Also, it's become an everyday word. So what does the stress mean? Next slide, please. Yeah. Stress is a feeling of strain and pressure. Yeah. See, it is something to do with your internal. Okay. Internally, you feel strain and pressure, which is named as stress. Okay. Small amounts of stress may be desired, beneficial, and even healthy. Say, for example, like little bit of stress everybody requires. It is not as useless also. Now, during this pandemic period, if you take, we should have that little bit of stress that only we'll be cautious enough to safeguard ourselves. If you're not bothered about what is going on around us, then we may catch up the infection also. So like little amount of stress is important. Positive stress helps improve performance in your profession. Yeah, all of us have faced stress in our profession. Okay, like when we have to do a presentation or when we have to attend a meeting or a conference or a seminar, we have to present paper going as an examiner, all whatever the situation may be. Little positive stress helps our performance. Like when we are bothered about the competition, then we have do a good job. Okay, it also plays a factor in motivation, adaptation, and reaction to the environment. Excessive amounts of stress, however, may lead to bodily harm. This is what has to be addressed. So, like our present scenario, present day situation says that we have so much of stress that it gets to bodily harm also. So, next slide, please. Okay, so this stress can be recognized in three reactions. One is physical reaction, next is cognitive reaction, third is emotional reaction. So physical reaction is you have a physical problems people might land up with the BP, sugar, heart problems, or any other issues relating to the physical ailments. And then cognitive is decision making problems or we are not able to think properly, thinking gets disturbed and things like that, and the intellectual problems. And then emotional problems is you do not know how to deal with stress. So like emotionally you become upset, you throw temper tantrums, or you are angry or aggressive. All these things may be reactions to stress, and we have to recognize which stress we have. Next slide, please. See, I'm cut shorting my presentation so that we can have a lot of discussion, okay? Because many people will have a lot of queries and questions on how to deal with stress and things like that. So I thought I'll cut short my presentation and deal with the questions, okay? So stress may cause the following things: fear and worry about our own health. Uh, so like when we have stress, that shows on our health. Definitely, isn't it? Fear and worry about our own health. Like sometimes, like take this corona itself, this virus. Like we are worried and we have the fear of catching up the problem. This is which was not there till March. Only in March this came up, and now everyday news says that so many people have been affected, and so many people have been hospitalized. That really creates a stress in us. We do not understand whether we will also be a victim of this virus or whatever it is. Health of our loved ones. We are bothered about the health of the loved ones more than ourselves. We are bothered about the health of our loved ones, our kith and kin, wife, husband, or children, or in-laws, or parents, or whoever it is. Okay, and then your financial situation or job. Yeah, when there is a job insecurity, that may cause stress. Or even in the job, getting promotion, when you're attending an interview for a promotion, or when applying for a new job, or if the financial situation is not so conducive for you to meet out the expenses, then that leads to stress. Loss of support services which you rely on. Yeah, see, all of us have a support system to rely on. Okay, it's either our parents or either our colleagues or friends, like just as a moral support. So like when there is a loss in the support system, then definitely that may lead to stress. We are in a dilemma: who to approach, what to do, and things like that. Okay, changes in sleep or eating patterns. Yeah, when you are stressed, sleep patterns are disturbed, and then eating is also disturbed. Okay, like we either eat too much or we don't eat at all. Okay, changes, difficulty sleeping or concentrating. This again leads to stress. Worsening of chronic health problems. Yeah, see, like the very thought of health issues itself will create more worsening of the health issue. Okay, worsening of mental health conditions. Yeah, see, like the moment you are diagnosed with some mental issue, then the thought that you're having this mental issue will worsen the situation, thinking of it again and again. So, which is related to the cognitive problem. Increased use of tobacco or alcohol or other substances due to stress. Next slide, please. Yeah. See, like the reactions, physical symptoms of stress. This is what we need to understand. The muscle tension or pain. Sometimes we feel muscle tension or pain. Sometimes without no reason at all, we have chest pain. We do not know whether we are having any health issues, but then there won't be any health issues, but we'll have chest pain, stomach upset before attending an interview, or before going out, or before meeting somebody important, or when you're really stressed, that you may have a stomach upset, dry mouth, clenched jaw, frequent colds and infections, sleep problems, insomnia, sleeplessness, fatigue, headache. All these things are physical symptoms of stress. When you go to a doctor, when you've been diagnosed, when you go for a medical examination, doctors will say there's nothing, no problem with your results, but then there is some problem in your day-to-day activities, or maybe due to stress you are having these kind of issues, especially chest pain or stomach upset. Okay, so these physical symptoms can be notified through stress. Yeah. Next slide, please. Yeah, and mental symptoms are lack of concentration. Okay, in the classes we can see, as teachers, when we take classes, some of the students will be in their own world. They won't concentrate at all. Maybe it's not that the age or something. When they have some other issue to concentrate on, which is stressing them, they may not be able to concentrate on the classes. So like we as teachers should be able to identify what the reason is for them not to concentrate on classes. Okay, memory lapses, the difficulty in making decisions, confusion, disorientation, panic attacks, all these are mental symptoms. Next slide, please. Yeah. Emotional symptoms of stress, disappointment with ourselves. Okay. Like when there is a disappointment, see, always we cannot expect positive things to happen to us. Okay. Like always, people cannot be reinforcing us. So sometimes we'll end up with disappointments also. When there are disappointments, like that shows so shown in an emotional way, like we either we are depressed, we are not able to concentrate on anything, like we are alone, try to be aloof and things like that. Okay, increased emotional reactions, more fearful or sensitive or aggressive, loneliness or withdrawal, lack of loss of motivation, commitment and confidence, then confusion, indecision, lack of concentration, poor memory, depressive or negative thoughts. Yeah, these negative thoughts are one thing which really causes stress. Like many a times we understand that our mind is being developed to have negativity more than positivity. Okay, we are trained to accept negativity, we are trained to react to negativity than to accept positivity. So this, when a little bit of stress also leads to negative thoughts. Like supposing there's a call when you're attending this class itself, and there's a call coming up, from a person who's not been calling you for a long time. Immediately, what comes to your mind? Maybe something is wrong, some problem has arisen. That is why they are calling me at this time. So, like whatever happens, we immediately think of something negative only than anything positive. Next slide, please. Yeah. See, like stress coping strategies. Yeah. Next slide. Yeah. So in stress coping, we need to understand that all five senses are important when we have to react to stress in a very positive way. So like when you are visualizing, okay, we have to visualize something positive to get rid of stress. So when you have to visualize, you'll have to use all the five senses in your visualizations: sight, taste, smell, touch and hearing. Okay, so like you hear positive things, like say for example, before going for an interview, you are stressed. So like you visualize that you attended the interview in a good in a proper way and you have been selected. So when you're visualizing, you should give that should be seen, and then you should taste the success, taste the thing of success. Maybe you can have the taste of a sweet or something. Okay, smell something which gives you happiness. Okay, touch a kinesthetic feeling that you have succeeded, and then hearing people say that you have succeeded. So these things will definitely help you overcome stress. Next slide, please. Yeah. So for stress management, we have different techniques to follow. In our psychology, we have different therapies: cognitive behavior therapy, then emotional therapy, then neuro-linguistic programming or transactional analysis. So many therapies are given. So like when it becomes worse, it's better you go in for a therapy or visit a spa, do your daily exercise, take up some hobby, involve in meditation, yoga, nature, start enjoying nature. Time management is important in stress management. Listen to music. So these are some of the things in which you can really manage stress. Next slide, please. Yeah, okay. Taking care of your emotional health. Yeah. See, like we concentrate on our physical health. Okay, when we have a headache, we concentrate on a physical health. We try to have a coffee first, and then if that is not subsidizing, then we take a tablet or go take a rest, and then finally, worst come worst, we visit a doctor. But for emotional health, we hardly take it seriously, because like that becomes as part of our life. We are trained to accept emotional instability. Okay, so when we are when acting, then we will help you think clearly and react to the urgent needs of the needs to protect yourself and your family when you take care of your emotional health. See, like sudden outbursts of anger, suddenly you scream at somebody, or suddenly, like this is if you're not emotionally stable, definitely that will lead to emotional health issues. So if you are able to take care of your emotional health, that will definitely help you to take care of yourself. Think clearly first, take decisions properly, think clearly. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, take breaks from your regular routine. Say, for example, like when we had routine work, like morning we get up, it's a routine thing. Morning we get up and then we get ready for college, and then afternoon evening we come and again routine work. So it is a regular routine where we don't have time for ourselves or itself. So if you are able to take at least 1 hour or for 15 to 20 minutes as my time, my regular time. Okay, this is my time. I will do whatever I want. If I want to sing, I will sing. If I want to dance, I will dance. If I want to draw something, I will draw. So like this is my time and nobody needs to disturb. It has the right to disturb me during this time. Okay, so this will definitely break your daily routine, regular routine, and make you stress free. Next slide, please. Yeah, take care of your body. See, like take care of your body means like you have to take care of all the organs of your body. Like we will understand the importance of a particular organ only when the organ has some problems. Say, for example, like you have hurt your hands, then you understand how the hand is important. Until then, we take it for granted. Okay, then only we understand the importance of a hand. So, like so on a daily basis itself, if we take care of all the parts of our body as such by having deep breaths, stretch and meditate sometimes, definitely this will make you overcome stress. Okay, so I'll teach you a simple exercise. Okay, this is like it just takes 1 minute. 1 minute. Just close your eyes and just concentrate on your breathing for 1 minute. Are you willing to do it? Close your eyes and concentrate on your breathing. Okay. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Yeah. Okay. So how do you all feel? Feeling sleepy? It's a post-lunch session. Oh, it's good. It's really good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, this just takes 1 minute. Okay, to relieve your stress. So, like when we are really stressed, we really feel that something is disturbing us. Then just take a minute, for which you don't need anybody's permission or don't need to tell anybody that your breathing is something which is already happening. Okay, but then we don't give importance to it. We just taken for granted. We just see whether we are alive or not through a breath only. It's a recognition for us to be alive. That's all. But we don't acknowledge the presence. So this is like acknowledging the presence of breathing. Okay, just if you are able to practice it 1 minute an hour. Okay, if you're able to practice 1 minute an hour, definitely you will be out of stress within 2 or 3 weeks itself. But we don't follow it. The thing is, like if you take a carpenter, when the carpenter is working, you see him sharpening the axe now and then. Okay, every now and then he'll be sharpening his axe so that he'll be able to do his work faster. This exercise is like for the next 1 hour. You know, you are clearing the stress that is in your mind by this breathing exercise. Then again for the next 1 hour, you again take 1 minute. So just one minute every hour will definitely make you feel fresh right from morning to evening. Okay, otherwise what happens is when you get up in the morning, you're fresh. Then when you go to bed, you're happy that you're going to sleep. But in between, like you're stressed with so many things, you know. So like the thought process itself gives a lot of stress. So like under the training we have regarding thought processes, it is more negative self-talk. Okay, we have to concentrate on a self-talk also. Like when you concentrate on a self-talk, you'll understand that 70 to 90% of the self-talk is negative only in nature. Our mind has a capacity to to accept whatever we say, whatever we tell the mind. Say, for example, tomorrow, like if they say the lockdown is called off and you can go wherever you want, and you all plan to go for a picnic. Okay, and you're supposed to get ready by 3 o'clock. What do? You get up at 2 o'clock itself. You have an alarm, you tell people to wake you up, but still you get up early before that itself because the anxiety is there that you have to. So you have told your mind to wake you up and your mind has woken you up, isn't it? So like this, whatever you tell your mind is like talking to your subconscious, right? That's right, yeah. That Goshi has given the right answer. Yeah, subconscious. Yeah. So you talk. Whatever you tell your mind, mind is going to do it to you. Go does it for you. Mind is your servant and not your master. So train your mind to tell positive things. When you ask questions to the mind, mind against reflects the same questions, and mind doesn't give answers. Okay, mind is like a mirror. When you look at the mirror and laugh, the mind laughs at you back. Then if you are angry, then the mind is also angry. It shows an angry face, and the mirror also shows an angry face only. It doesn't show a fresh face. Similarly, here also, when you talk something to the mind, mind also repeats the same thing, and it doesn't give the reply to it. So, like if you say, "Why is this happening to me alone?" Mind is not going to give you the answer. Mind is going to ask you again, "Why is it happening to me alone?" So the confusion becomes more. So instead of which, train your mind to give positive things. First sentence that comes to your mind, if you are able to train it to be positive, I am a brave person, I am a successful person, I am a winner, then the corresponding statements will also be positive in nature. Okay, if you're going to have the first statement as a question, will I succeed? Then next question will be, what will happen if I don't succeed? People, what will people think of me if I don't succeed? So like this, the question, the corresponding all sentences will also be questions, and that will make you feel even more bad. Instead of which, like you start training your mind to say positive things about yourself. Okay, I am good. I am able to achieve. I am able to score good marks, or I am able to get my promotion. Like this, like my promotions are in the near future. I'm going to get it. So like this, like you just start training your mind for the power of positive thinking. When you develop this power of positive thinking itself, definitely your stress level gets down. It's reduces to a greater extent. Okay, next slide, please. Okay. Try to eat healthy, well-balanced meals. Yeah, this also becomes a problem for many of us because of the timings and things like that. We have a breakfast at 11 o'clock, and then lunch at 4 o'clock, and then dinner at 10 or at 11 o'clock. Like this, this and the meals are also not well balanced. Whatever we get, we eat. So it should have all the ingredients which are required for our health, vitamins, minerals, all these things together. It should be a balanced diet so that we'll be able to overcome stress. Next slide, please. Yeah. Exercising regularly is very important. Now you can say now this lockdown has made us sit in one place. Like we are at home only for 5 months. We are not able to go for our daily walk. We are not able to do regular exercises. But then like at home itself, you can walk. You can walk around your house, or inside the house itself, you can walk. Okay, like, or you can do some exercise, simple exercises. Okay, doing household work is not exercising. Okay, exercise needs to be done separately. That will only be counted as exercise. So regular exercises, you concentrate on your exercise and do it. So whatever you do should be done with happiness, should be done with full happiness. Otherwise, what happens is like we do. Okay, and this what happens is sometimes I have to do my exercise, I have to do this. It's like a timetable. If you're going to follow the timetable and say I have not done this, so that again comes stress. So whatever you take up, take it as a pleasurable thing. Okay, like say for example your job also. If you love your job, if it's a passion, then you won't mind the timings, you won't mind the number of responsibilities you have in your job. You will do it with full enjoyment. Okay, if you don't like the job and you've taken it, then you will hate whatever you do. So like in order to have a peaceful life, in order to have a stress-free life, whatever you do it with full enthusiasm, do it with full happiness, and it is for your well-being. Okay, it's not for anybody else well-being, and nobody is going to ask you, did you exercise, did you go out, did you do this, did you do that? Because all of us are old enough to take care of ourselves, and it's better like we follow a systematic life so as to overcome stress. Next slide, please. Okay, sleep at least for 6 to 8 hours. Sleep is very essential. Okay, like and deep sleep has to be there. Say for example, if you don't have stress, you'll be able to sleep without any problems for 6 to 8 hours. If you're stressed, then definitely the sleep is lost. Okay, the sleep pattern is lost. So like you try to do all the other techniques so as to keep your sleep in a normal phase of 6 to 8 hours daily. Next slide, please. Okay. make time to unwind. Yeah, try to do some other activities to you enjoy. Yeah, like this is what I already told you. Like some people who like to dance, some people like to sing, some people like to draw, some people like to cook, some people would like to go out, meet friends, or whatever it is. Whatever you enjoy, try to make time for that. In your 24 hours, sometimes we say, no, I don't have time to breathe also. I don't understand whether I have time to breathe also. I'm not able to concentrate my breathing also. Like, this is not an excuse, okay? You have to find time for yourself. This one may take just 2 minutes, 3 minutes, just this half an hour you can have, or 1 hour you can have. Try to do the involve in this act. Listen to music, okay? Listen to whatever music you want, or listen to instruments, so which will really make you feel happy, okay? So these things we definitely can do. Next slide, please. Yeah. Talk with people you trust about your concerns and how you are feeling. Yeah. See, like this is important. Man is a social animal. Okay. Nobody likes to be an isolated person. So, like sometimes I used to say, I want to be alone. I want to be by myself. Then people around me will laugh at me and say, "Oh, you want to tell a cell phone with you and be alone, is it?" That's a fact. Okay, like all of us are social animals. We like to be with people. We like to talk to people. We definitely have close friends. Okay, talk to your friends about the concerns you have, and also get their advice if required. Okay, like otherwise, like if you meet your friends, like can have your get-togethers, or meet your friends quite often, or talk to them over the phone, or make some contacts with them, and not only about the stress-related factors, like you can recall the memorable days you had in your life, so as to overcome the stress. Like when they also talk, when you talk to your school friends, definitely you will start reliving the days when you were in school. Okay, similarly college days. So if you are able to connect with others and talk to others, definitely you will forget of the stress for at least for some time, which will definitely be regenerating. Next slide, please. So these are some of the techniques which I thought I will share. But apart from this, you should understand what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. So like you should acknowledge the strength and also acknowledge the weakness. You should accept the weakness also. Only when you're able to accept the weakness, you can make the weakness into your strength. Okay, so that is one thing. And then you're not supposed to compare yourselves with others. When you start comparing yourselves, you will always compare your negatives and others' positives. Each one has their own way of living. Each one has their own strengths. So like whatever you have, you try to emphasize on that. So stop comparing yourself and think of the good things that have happened in your life. Be grateful, have the gratitude, write a gratitude message every day, right? Definitely at least one person you will have to be, to whom you have to be grateful for each day. Okay, the driver would have come on time, so you would have reached the office on time. So be grateful to the driver. You just say a gratitude to the driver, not necessarily that you should tell him thank you, but then you can write a note in your diary saying that because of this person who came on correct time, I was able to finish this work. Okay, like this, every day try to feel the gratitude you have for people. So when you have this gratitude, you develop this habit of thanking people, definitely your stress level comes down. Okay, these are some of the techniques. And now I leave the floor to you. If you have any clarifications or you have any case studies to share, or you want me to share any case studies, you're most welcome. Is Jay Chitra, you want to ask something? Thank you. No questions? Yeah. Any complicated problem you faced? Yeah. Kindly share a case study. Yeah. See, like when we sit for counseling, it is really sometimes you really can't understand what is going on. So one interesting case I will tell you. A couple came with two children. Okay, this first child was around 2 to 3 years, and they had a baby in hand over 7 or 8 months. The mother said, it's so stressful for me to bring up this child who's the first one, because whatever he does, the second one also does. Now, what does he do? Then she said, there's a small girl in the opposite house. This guy goes and sits in front of her house every day and waits for her to come out. Okay, if he is going to cultivate this habit throughout his life, then the younger one will also learn. I really felt like laughing. See, a 3-year-old child. What will the 3-year-old child know? For a 3-year-old child, everyone is a friend only. So then I said, which child are you talking about will follow? Then the child who's in my lap, the child who says 7 months. Some people are really crazy, they invite stress. Stress is something which is, you have it for yourself. Okay, like when you think that you can come out of it, definitely you can come out of it, but then you take things very seriously. Okay, like when there were cases who had, we have seen even worse cases, relationship issues are there. Relationship issues mostly deal with stress only. Like, say like the same incident would be there. When the couple come for couple counseling, the same incident, okay, they would have got ready to go out and some argument would have happened. The girl would have pursued it in a different way and the boy would have pursued it in a different way. Okay, and the thing would have gone to an extent of even going to a divorce. And finally, they'll either have to go to an advocate or a counselor. They choose to come to a counselor, then it becomes our responsibility to see to that they get back together. Okay, if they go to an advocate, then it is their responsibility. Even in the court and even the All-in-One police station, they have a counselor, family counselor, who gives them counseling before taking the final steps. So like this, when people come for counseling, we really understand that these things has to be addressed. And when they bring children, one mother came to me and she said that my son doesn't study at all. He's getting only 80% and 85%. Whereas his friend is getting 95 and 98%. Both of them are going for the same school, same tuition classes and nothing. But then my son is not scoring 90%. Then slowly the mother also added saying that, but my son, he has a stupid habit of drawing. If you give you a photo or if you sit in front of him, within 10 minutes, he'll draw exactly how you are. So you please give counseling to my son that education is more important and he has to forget his art of drawing. So now here, who has to be counseled? The mother or the son? Mother, yeah, that's right. The mother only has to be given counseling because in spite of the fact that he's drawing and he's able to get 80%, okay, if we compulsorily make the son get into studies, forget the art, then this 80% will become 60%, 60% will become 40%, 40 will become even 20, because you're depriving him of his passion. But if he's allowed to participate in the arts competitions also, then he will constantly get this 80%, along with which he'll be able to perform in his arts also. So many times we see that it's parents who have to properly deal with children, and parenting is really a difficult task. Taking care of the present generation children is a difficult task because children are well versed. They know many things because the exposure is too much. Okay, and when parents compare their children with other children, it becomes really worse. When parents compare the children, they say so and so has got so much marks, you don't get means. Then the child will say, so and so's father is an IAS officer. What are you? So when parents compare children start comparing parents. Okay, which is not a healthy development. So like if you want whatever you want your child to be, you first. Many times we also see that. I recently had a boy for counseling. He was in the 10th standard. The father was frantically calling, and during this lockdown period, I said, no, I don't do counseling. Then he said, ma'am, please, ma'am, it's very urgent. You please talk to him. Things are becoming very worse. Then parents and the boy came. This boy, like he was a very pavam looking guy, like around 15 or 16 years. Literally, he was so this thing. Then I asked what was the problem. Then the parents said that he's using foul language. So we are not bothered about his education, or he's doing well only in his education, but he's using foul language, and we really cannot tolerate it. So both the parents are giving so many complaints about the boy. Then I said, okay, I'll talk to the boy, and I made the boy sit and made the parents go out for 5 or 10 minutes when I was having the conversation with the boy. Then I asked the boy, okay, ma, now it's your time. You say whatever you want to say. Then he said, whatever my mother scolds me only, I say back. No, my mother always says me, die. Chittupo. So this really annoys me. So I use the same words back. So how am I held responsible for this? So here the mother only had to be given counseling. Then when I spoke to the mother said, see, I am stressed, I have so much of work. But why should he behave like this? Then I said, see, like if you want your son to behave properly, then you should set a role model. Okay, children do not know what is right and what is wrong. Okay, according to them, the culture in which they are brought up only is the right culture for them. Okay, so it is up to the parents to see to that children are given the right type of upbringing, like teach them the value system in life, which is very essential. And when the child reaches, this boy was in the 10th standard, so which means that he's in his adolescent stage, teenage. Okay, in Tamil there is a proverb, which means when the child reaches your shoulders, he should be treated like your friend. Only when your child is being treated like your friend, definitely the child will share whatever the child feels to you. Otherwise, what happens is the parents will be the last person to know what the child is up to. So, like when I told them that you have to take care of the child and all, then they said, okay, then what is it we have to do? Then I gave them other exercises for parents separately and for the child separately. And then after that, the relationship became much better. Okay. Anything else you want to discuss? In your job, what is the stress you feel when the superior authority has some ego problems with the subordinates? What is the question? I didn't read it fully. So when a superior has ego issues and he doesn't treat the subordinates properly, how to deal with it? This is the question, I think. Okay, fine. See, this is a problem which occurs everywhere. But the thing is, if you have a positive approach, okay, then there is a possibility for the superior to change his attitude. Okay, everything depends on the attitude only. Like if you are able to, like when you're getting up in the morning, just tell today is a bright day, today is a good day, I'm going to meet good people, I'm going to hear only success stories. Okay, and then start your work. Okay, give all positive affirmations for yourself before going to office. Then you'll see the superior also in a good mood. Okay, when getting up itself, I got up now. I really do not know what that man is going to say. As it is, he's having so much of superiority complex or inferiority complex. I do not know. Like I have landed up in this office. So if you're going to get up with that mindset, and you will find that the whole day will be like that only. Okay, so it is all in your self-talk and how you develop the power of positive thinking. Okay, many times, like we have been practicing this positive thinking for almost 5-10 years now. It's like 10 years now. So what happens is, like, we are able to see so much of positive energy around us. So when I get up from my seat in the office and I want to get something from the upstairs staff room, I tell them, I have to go and meet the lab assistant and get the materials. So when I think of it and I get up, the moment I turn, my lab assistant is there, waiting for my signature or waiting for something. She'll say, oh, ma'am, I need this. So my work becomes easy. I need not have to go up. Okay, when you develop such positive attitudes, so positivity, definitely people around you are also going to change. Okay, a small change every day. Okay, like you be prepared for a small change. Okay, today I'm going to do this. So I'm going to get recognition. So like not everyone is going to recognize you, but you have the satisfaction. Like you start appreciating your own self. Don't expect others to appreciate you. Okay, and superiors will definitely not appreciate. Sometimes they'll appreciate if you have done extraordinary work, but jealousy will be there more when it comes to profession. But when you start appreciating yourself, well done. It's not necessary that you should stand in the classroom in front of everybody and say well done, or stand in the middle of the road and shout just to yourself, you've done a good job today. Congratulations. You congratulate yourself. You treat yourself with an ice cream, or you treat yourself by going out. Something like that, no, just to reinforce yourself. Otherwise, you'll end up, like if you expect others to appreciate you, definitely they will not. They're not going to appreciate you. And if they don't appreciate you, that is good. The expectation of others appreciating is lost. So you will end up most as I put so much of efforts, but then like nobody is appreciated. See, like today I'm conducting a session. Okay, when Mr. Duri Murugan contacted, I said, okay, fine, but this is a different group totally, isn't it? Like all engineers, this is a different group totally. I do not know how it is going to, I'm going to fit in. Then he said, no, ma'am, we tried. Then, okay, fine. I think I'm doing my best. That is my impression is I want to do my best and I am doing it. So like whether others appreciate or not, that's not going to bother me. At the end of the session, I'm going to feel happy about what I have done. This is very simple. Okay, don't need anybody's permission to appreciate you. Don't expectations. It's your own self. Okay, if you feel very overwhelmed, very much happy, just go have an ice cream or just go have a chocolate. Okay, whatever you like, do for some time. That will really boost your self-confidence, self-esteem. Okay, once your self-esteem has been enhanced, definitely you will be able to overcome stress in a very better way. Any other questions?
Few more examples, madam, which you dealt.
Yeah, some more examples. Yeah, okay, fine. This is one client whom I met when I finished my MSc and I just started working. This boy was referred to the Juvenile Guidance Bureau for a murder case. Okay, he was registered in 302 IPC and he was coming to the center for counseling. So when initially, this boy had so much of vengeance on the boys who were the reason for his becoming a person who had killed another person. When we were able to analyze the case, I found that this boy, teenage, 17, 18 years, he was in his +2. And it was a co-ed class and this girl was also in his own class. She was talking to everybody very freely and both of them were going to the same tuition class also. So when they were going for the same tuition class, they were talking to each other and it was like a mutual friendship, that's all, nothing more than that. But the friends who are around started saying that this girl is interested in you, started provoking him, saying that this girl is interested in you, you go and talk to her, you go and propose to her, all those things. I'm talking about 30 years back. 30 years back, proposing was something, a taboo, isn't it? Nowadays, it has become a part and parcel of life. Okay, we see even school students proposing each other or they say, I'm in love with so-and-so without any this thing at all. But those days, the words itself had so much of stigma and taboo. So this, when they started telling this to the boy, and they also said, you write a letter and give it to me, we will go and hand it over to the girl. So this guy casually wrote, I don't know what he wrote a letter and gave it to his friends to hand it over to the girl. But this letter was caught by his class teacher. Class teacher saw the letter and he just tore it and put it off. Usually teachers who are handling +2 will know how to handle this problem. They just won't take it very seriously, because if they take it seriously, the children's life will get ruined. So what they did was, like, he just tore it and put it off. But these boys didn't tell that to this student, and then they came and told them we had given the letter to the girl. The girl is very angry. She said she's going to complain to the principal about you. So we do not know. You might even be chucked out of the school. So on that particular day, he was in class and he was doing some work, and the friends were saying that he is going to be chucked out of the school and things like that. And this girl had gone for some function, I think, and she came very beautifully dressed and she was talking to others. So they again provoked him, saying that, see, she has put you in trouble and she is happily talking to her friends. Now the principal is coming. Usually the principal or headmaster comes on regular rounds. Isn't it? First I can see them coming on regular rounds. So even the principal was coming on regular rounds, and these boys provoked this particular boy, saying that this girl has to complain and things like that. So there was another guy who was sitting next to him who had a paper knife and was cutting the brown cover to cover his notebook. This boy immediately pulled the paper knife and went and hit her in her neck. Like within 3 hours, this thing was so harsh that within 3 hours, this girl died. So, and this guy was not even able to recollect or remember what had actually happened. No, it was so this thing. Then he said, no, like because of his boys only, I had so much of problem. So like I will take vengeance on them. So all these things were happening. Then our senior Dr. Swaminathan had to give him relaxation technique, take him to do desensitization and things like that to calm him down, so that he at least leads a normal life after he is released. Okay, the whole family was affected because of the behavior of this boy. Okay, and somebody asked me how to deal with the emotions of children, of adolescents. Yeah, this is again another issue. No, like children nowadays are being provided with all economic comforts, isn't it? They are given if the child asks for just a cell phone, parents are willing to get him an iPhone or an iPad. So the thing is, like when both the parents are working, they feel they want to get out of the guilt that they have to provide the best for the children. So what they do is they provide the best in economy. They try to compensate it through economic comforts, but they are not able to understand the child's emotional needs. Okay, there is something known as quality time and quantity time. Okay, you see this. So when parents are at home, they are always behind the child. 24/7, they are behind the child. And the child is given a chance, the parents themselves will breathe for the child. This is one thing. But this is quantity time. Other than that, if the parents are going to be with the child only for half an hour or 1 hour also, if they are going to give in their best, okay, make the child feel comfortable, give the child support system, okay, talk to the child, take the child out, or have a family time, chit chat, try to understand the child more. That will give more confidence for the child. This is, you can very easily control an adolescent than complaining about the adolescent. Many times what parents do is they start complaining about the child to others. Whoever comes home, they maybe the husband's friend or the wife's friend, whoever comes, they say, please advise my son, please advise my daughter. She's not behaving properly, he's not behaving properly. Children will not like that at all. Okay, children will like to be honored in front of guests. So however your child is, the child is your child. Okay, so like whatever the child is going to be, you're only going to be responsible for the child. So like try to bring in the best out of the child. Okay, the child gets scores less mark. Let the child come home and show the report card openly, saying that this is the mark I have scored. Instead of hiding the report card or forging your signature just because you're going to school, that gives lot of stress. Parents are given everything and that the child are asking and not bothering. Yeah. See, like parents give everything for the child, but emotional support also should be given. Okay. Say all of you know about Thomas Alva Edison. He had so many inventions, but as a child of 7 or 8 years, he was chucked out of school with a chit in his hand. No, the chit said that your child doesn't have the comprehension. So, like, you please have your child at home. When the child got the chit to the mother saw the chit, and then what she did was she just kept the chit somewhere, and she took a challenge that, okay, I will prove that my son will be the best. The whole world will look at him. This is the challenge the mother took. Like when the child was asking what was the letter, he said, you are a very good boy. You are capable of doing many things, but the teacher is not equipped enough to teach you. This was what the mother said. The child told the child, and then she started giving him all the requirements that he has to, what he has to learn in life. Then after many years, after he has become successful, when he was seeing something in a shelf or something, he saw the chit which the teacher had written so many years back, which the mother had kept it secretly. Okay, so if parents think they can make or break their children's life, okay, so accept the children for whatever they are. If the child is not good in studies, that doesn't end the matter. Understand whatever the child is efficient in. Okay, the child may be good in arts, child may be good in sports, child may be good in something else. Try to understand that and try to equip the child in that particular thing instead of forcing him to study or score good marks. It's not that all 100 marks on one child who came to me for counseling said that I deliberately didn't do my +2 properly because people were saying, so and so will always get first mark, so and so will always get first mark. I hate this first mark, I hate this centum. So I deliberately got mad in final in +2, and I thought that I should not score good marks. Finally, who's the sufferer? The child is the sufferer. Okay. So like this, some children start hating after some time. Emotionally insecure, and I don't know what to do. Yeah. See, emotional insecurity is because maybe of the parental upbringing or lower self-esteem. Okay. So, so once you are able to enhance your self-esteem by self-praise, appreciation, or like when you feel insecure, so think of the good things you have done in life. Okay, maybe you would have been appreciated by your teacher, or maybe your parents would have appreciated you, or you myself would have felt that you have done something great. Okay, you would have saved a person's life, or you would have done some good job. Think of those good things again and again, so that the insecure feeling will get reduced. Okay, this insecurity comes because when you're in your growing stages, you get scared of darkness. You get scared of animals, or birds, or insects. So something like that. There may be some reason for that. Okay, just don't bother about all those things. Try to overcome it by this small exercise, by breathing exercise. If you do regularly itself, definitely you have concentration. You have contact with your breath. Once you have contact with your breath, you will have the self-confidence. Okay. Otherwise, what happens is breathing is in one direction and we are in another direction. Okay. When we work as two entities, then definitely so insecure feeling will be there. Then all other problems will also come. So just take a minute and start practicing this breathing exercise. Or even you're stressed also, just concentrate on your breathing. Definitely you will see the calmness in you. Okay, when you keep yourself calm, automatically your feeling of security will be there. Okay. Any other doubts or clarifications, questions? Over.
Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Durai Murugan and Dr. Lily Ramesh, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. I really enjoyed my session. So,
Thank you, ma'am. Really a wonderful session, useful session. As we people are living in the world of stress, it was very useful. We enjoyed actually. Really a good session, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Looking forward to meet you all in future also.
Okay.
If you have any other thing which has to be discussed,
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
then feel free to contact me.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. We also have a counseling center in our college.
Okay.
Okay. So it's not for counseling, just for guidance also. You can approach, it's not an issue.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
I can get my number from Dr. Durai Murugan.
Okay.
My
Okay, ma'am.
email ID also you can get it from Dr. Durai.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
Hello.
Yeah.
My question is for Durai Murugan, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, can you share the programming details with us, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We'll share it.
Sir, is it possible to change the code from Java to any other language?
Yes, it is possible. We can have Python. Python also we have code it. We can implement
Sir,
it
in the
everything.
same platform, like in MATLAB, we can convert it to HDL code. So, is there any chance of converting the Java codes to any other language?
So directly we can able to not able to convert, ma'am. Actually, and we have to know the logic. We have to know the syntax, and we have to write it.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Hello.
So it will be helpful for us, sir, because if you have any programming details related to any other platforms, it would be helpful for us, sir. So
Okay,
can
ma'am.
you share, sir?
Okay, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. We will share it. We will share it.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Usha, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
thank you. Thank you, Mr. Raghunathan.
Okay.
I'll leave the meeting. Yeah, thank you.